Hello, this video will showcase the enhancements to the Personalization Framework. First, we will look at enhancements to grid formats. We now have the ability to change the names of columns and save them to udos. Let's have a look at how to do this. From our form P01012, or any form that the grid can be modified, we can select the grid format or personalized grid icon here. We now have a new button right in the middle between the available columns and display order panes that we can select to modify the name of any of the columns currently shown. We can do this by selecting that and adding in our name. This personalization will save to this grid format. When we create the name for it here, it can then be applied for end user consumption. Here we can see we've added the appendix ERP-One to alpha name, which is displayed on the column. And if we go back to show all columns, that change or personalization has disappeared. This is a good potential for BSAs and developers to further modify the code without actually opening up Form Design Aid as part of the development practice. The second feature, an enhancement to personal forms, allows us to modify menu exits. We can change their labels or remove them altogether. To do this, we can click on Personal Form. The Personal Form Manager pullout gives us a new exit within, which when we click, brings up all of the exit tabs available to us. On this form, we have both a row and a report tab where we can add where we can remove the existing reports, and we can modify how they look on screen. Again, giving us some flexibility to modify the code or modify the form for end users without the need for FDA, which previously was required. After I save this personal form, I can go and have a look at our row exits, and I can see that they've been reduced, and I've modified the who's who to append the ERP-One tag at the end. The final personalization is in the form of a form extension. Again, another enhancement to the UDO framework or the personalization framework, and when enabled allows end users or BSAs or developers to add columns to the forms via the form extension manager. On our program or on our application here, P01012 and form W01012B, we're able to look at this business view associated, which is the V0101E business view. And here are all the columns that are available for that view that are not currently on the form itself. We can then further select where we want these columns to display. On the form, so the header section of the form, or on the grid section, again showing at the bottom. In our scenario here, I'm going to add in the sales region column that comes with the form or with the business view, and up at the top here you can see that they both the label and the control itself are applied to the top of the form. From here I can click on the blue exit button to remove them. I'm going to go ahead and remove that one back in, and then I can show you that I can enhance or widen this form, and I'm able to further manipulate this by moving the description around in a different area here. One thing to note is that the description and the control itself are not mutually exclusive. If we delete one, the other one will also be removed. So we can't just have the description or the control. They come together. On the form section, when we add in the sales region or any new column, we can right click and select properties. This brings up the filter criteria that we can choose different items to filter on. This allows us to, just like FDA, it allows us to give different filter information or to click runtime select. We can also add whether we want to put wildcards in or not, much like the FDA mode. When we select any one of these filter criteria, except for none, we also open up the the ability for advanced queries to run against this form extension. So we can combine udos together and allow for further customization. After clicking OK, we can see that the runtime select option is a drop down right beside our control. And in our scenario here, we're also going to add in that same sales region to the grid section of our form, which ends up being at the right of the form over here. So we can see we have our sales section, and this category code was added earlier. I'm going to go ahead and remove that one to keep things consistent. After I save, we're now able to have a look at this udo form extension in real time. And you'll notice that there's no drop down to choose a form extension. That's because in our scenario here, the form extension only supports one udo per app form combination. So if a user can only select a personal form, which will run only under their personal account, or if a form is shared with them, they will see that one, so that they can only have a maximum of one shared and then one personal one. If they do have both of these forms, then the personal form will end up overriding the shared form extension. Like other udos, this one can be promoted, shared, and published. We can do that through the udo administration program. And if we search on the new form type, which is form extensions, we can see the one that we just created.